and more often than we realize. You might sleep 8 hours, eat well, and exercise and still feel exhausted by noon. That's not a physical issue. It's emotional depletion. It happens when you carry unprocessed tension, unresolved conflict, or when you spend the day pretending, pleasing, or performing. Emotional labor, like suppressing how you feel in a meeting or carrying other people's stress, takes a massive toll on your energy reserves. The problem is, we're taught to ignore it. Chapter 2, The 4 Currencies of Time 49. When emotional energy is low, everything becomes harder. Decisions feel heavier. Small problems feel overwhelming. Focus becomes harder to sustain, and even tasks you usually enjoy feel like burdens. That's because emotions are directly tied to our perception of effort. When we're emotionally drained, our brains interpret every task as requiring more energy than it actually does. So we procrastinate not because we're lazy, but because we're trying to avoid emotional discomfort. To manage emotional energy, you must first acknowledge it. Notice how different situations, people, or environments affect your mood. Who drains you? What uplifts you? What kinds of tasks feel heavy, not because of the work, but because of the emotions attached to them? Keeping a journal of emotional triggers and patterns can be incredibly revealing. Once you see it, you can start to plan your day in ways that protect your emotional bandwidth. Protecting emotional energy doesn't mean avoiding all discomfort. It means scheduling recovery, spacing out emotionally intense tasks, and giving yourself permission to feel without judgment. Just like athletes recover after a hard workout, emotionally aware people give themselves permission to recharge after difficult conversations or intense periods of focus. That recovery isn't optional, it's essential. You also restore emotional energy by doing things that make you feel grounded, seen, and safe. Connection with loved ones, time in nature, quiet reflection, music, laughter, or journaling, these aren't 39th luxuries. They're emotional fuel. They replenish what the day takes away. Make them a regular part of your routine, not just something you resort to in crisis. When you learn to manage emotional energy alongside physical energy, your time transforms. You stop grinding and start flowing. You get more done, but you also feel better while doing it. That's real productivity, that's real progress. 2.7% high value versus low value time. Not all hours are created equal. We often treat every task and every hour with the same weight, thinking that if we just stay busy enough, we'll be productive. But productivity isn't about doing everything, it's about doing the right things at the right time. That means learning to distinguish between high-value time and low-value time. And if you want to master time, this distinction is critical. High-value time is time spent doing what matters most, activities that move you toward your goals, deepen your relationships, improve your well-being, or produce something meaningful. These are the hours where you feel aligned, energized, and effective. They often involve deep work, creative thinking, problem-solving, or meaningful conversations. They don't just get things done, they move things forward. Low-value time, on the other hand, is filled with reactive tasks, mindless activity, and shallow work. It includes checking your phone repeatedly, scrolling social media, attending unnecessary meetings, and doing work that keeps you busy, but not better. It's often time spent on autopilot, unconscious, unintentional, and unfulfilling. These hours disappear quickly and leave you wondering where the day went. The key is not to eliminate all low-value time, that's unrealistic. Life includes maintenance tasks, rest, and downtime. But you must prioritize and protect your high-value time. It's where your best ideas live. It's where your legacy is built. That means scheduling it first, not last. Block time for it before your calendar gets filled with distractions. Make it non-negotiable. Chapter 2, The 4 Currencies of Time 50. Evaluate your week by asking, what percentage of my time went to high-value activities? If that number is low, don't feel bad, get curious. What pulled your attention away? What could be delegated, delayed, or deleted? Where can you create margin for what matters more? These reflections help you slowly redesign your life to support your priorities. Time value is not about working harder, it's about working higher. It's not about doing more things, it's about doing more meaningful things. A single hour of high-value time is often worth more than a whole day of low-value activity. Protect those hours like gold because they are. Mastering time starts with mastering value. 2.8 Time and identity. Who you believe you are. Your beliefs about time are deeply connected to your beliefs about yourself. If you see yourself as a disorganized person, you'll behave in ways that create chaos. If you see yourself as a procrastinator, you'll reinforce that pattern. Identity is the foundation of habit, and time habits are no different. You don't just manage time based on logic, you manage time based on how you see yourself. Many people try to change their time habits without changing their identity. They adopt new tools, start new planners, and download new apps, but within a few weeks they revert to old patterns. Why? Because deep down they're still operating from the same identity. They haven't yet become the person who values focus, protects their priorities, or honors their own time. Until identity shifts, behavior snaps back. To change your relationship with time, you must upgrade your identity. Start by asking, who do I want to become? Not just what you want to do, but who you want to be. A present parent, a focused creator, a calm and intentional leader. Get specific. Then align your actions with that identity. Each time you make a decision that matches the person you want to become, you reinforce that belief. Small actions, repeated consistently, shape identity. When you say no to a distraction, you become someone who protects focus. When you leave space in your calendar, you become someone who values margin. When you honor your priorities, you become someone who leads their life, not someone who reacts to it. Identity is not fixed, it's formed, and every minute is an opportunity to shape it. Affirmations can help accelerate this shift. Statements like, I am in control of my time, I honor my priorities, or I am calm and intentional, are not just motivational, they're identity declarations. When spoken daily and backed by aligned action, they rewire how you think, feel, and behave. They anchor your vision in who you are becoming. You don't need to become someone else. You need to become more fully the version of you who already values your time, the version who leads with clarity, not fear, the version who chooses presence over pressure. That person is already inside you, waiting for permission to take the lead. Change your identity and your time will follow. 2.9% Mood as a time multiplier. Chapter 2. The 4 Currencies of Time. 51. Mood is one of the most overlooked factors in time management. We often assume that our productivity is solely determined by our habits, systems, and tools. But underneath all of those, our emotional state, our mood, plays a massive role. When you're in a good mood, time seems to move more smoothly. You make decisions faster, solve problems more creatively, and feel more energized while doing it. On the other hand, when your mood is low, even simple tasks feel heavy and time drags like a weight. Your mood influences not just what you do, but how you do it. A positive mood opens your mind to new ideas and connections. It boosts your motivation and makes you more likely to engage in proactive behaviors. You take initiative. You stay focused. You feel in control. In contrast, a negative mood can make your brain default to survival mode, avoiding decisions, overthinking, or focusing on threats. You may still work, but your effectiveness drops significantly. One of the most powerful things you can do is start managing your mood with intention, just like you manage your tasks. Begin your day with a practice that elevates your state of mind: gratitude, exercise, music, sunlight, or reading. Something inspiring. Don't leave your mood to chance. Prime it, set it, and protect it. Your first 30 minutes often set the tone for the next several hours. Also pay attention to how certain people, environments, or digital inputs affect your emotional state. Some meetings leave you drained while others energize you. Some conversations boost your confidence, while others subtly diminish it. Some news sources or social media feeds amplify anxiety, while others provide insight or humor. Be ruthless in curating what influences your mood. This isn't selfish, it's strategic. Mood isn't just emotional, it's biochemical. Sleep, nutrition, movement, and hydration all affect how you feel. If you're constantly tired, hungry, or dehydrated, your mood will suffer, and so will your time effectiveness. This is why high performers treat mood management as seriously as time management. because the two are inseparable. The key insight is this: when you elevate your mood, you elevate your time. You work better, feel better, and recover faster. Mood is not a luxury, it's a productivity tool. Master your mood, and you multiply the power of your minutes. 2.10 The Emotional Audit: Redesigning How Time Feels. We often measure our time by what we did, but rarely by how we felt. Yet how time feels is just as important as how. It's structured. Two people can have identical schedules but vastly different experiences. One ends the day fulfilled and peaceful. The other ends it frazzled and drained. What's the difference? Emotional alignment. The emotional audit is a tool that helps you identify how your time feels, so you can intentionally redesign your day to support not just your goals, but your well-being. Start by reviewing your day through an emotional lens. Don't just ask what you did, ask how each part of your day made you feel. What tasks gave you energy? Which ones left you feeling tense or scattered? Which interactions lifted you up and which drained you? What parts of the day felt meaningful and which felt like obligation or autopilot? Write it down. Patterns will begin to emerge. You may discover that your most stressful task happens during your lowest energy window, or that your best thinking comes right after a walk. You might notice that your afternoons are consistently packed with back-to-back meetings. Chapter 2, The Four Currencies of Time. 52. Leave no room to breathe. These are not random inconveniences, they are signals. They show you where your emotional rhythm is being violated and where it can be honored instead. Once you've identified your emotional highs and lows, begin reshaping your schedule to match your natural emotional cycles. Move important tasks into emotionally supportive zones. Create space between meetings. Limit your exposure to energy-draining conversations or people. Add short recovery moments throughout the day to reset your nervous system. You're not just building a schedule, you're crafting an emotional experience. The emotional audit also reveals when it's time to change not just how you work, but what you're working on. If certain projects or clients consistently bring dread or disconnection, that's a deeper flag. Your emotional response is your body's wisdom trying to speak. Listen. Maybe it's time to delegate, redesign, or release something that no longer aligns with your growth. You cannot create a meaningful life in a schedule that emotionally starves you. The emotional audit allows you to bridge the gap between productivity and peace, between efficiency and fulfillment. It puts your feelings at the center of your time strategy, not as something to avoid, but something to honor. The ultimate purpose of managing time is not just to get more done, but to feel more alive while doing it. 2.11 From awareness to alignment. Awareness is the first step in any transformation. But awareness alone isn't enough. Once you recognize how you're using your time and how you're feeling during that use, you need to take the next bold step: alignment. Alignment is when your time, energy, values, and priorities begin to work together rather than against each other. It's when your external schedule starts to match your internal truth. Without this alignment, even the most productive day can feel empty. With it, even simple days feel meaningful. Many people remain stuck between what they know and what they do. They've read the books, listened to the podcasts, and identified the issues, but they haven't made the leap to redesign their time to reflect their clarity. Why? Because change feels risky, but the greater risk is staying misaligned, living a life that looks successful on the outside